Alrighty, hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here. I finally got a desk set up. Now, there was supposed to be a video, this video, which is the video where I'm explaining everything that's happened, was supposed to be on Tuesday, or was supposed to be the first video of the week. And then the other video, which was a wireless transmitter and receiver kit review, was supposed to be on later on. It was supposed to be like the second video of the week, like Thursday. But I set it by accident to be released on Monday, and I didn't change it, and it just went, and I was just like, all right, well, screw it. That's just how it is. So there are going to be some more videos that I'm going to be releasing that are from the old studio. And the reason is because, well, when I do a lot of like the behind the scenes or behind the voiceover kind of stuff where it's me recording, doing actual client work, and then I don't post it until the client has actually released the actual project or product, and then I'm actually able to release it. So some of those are still backlogged, and some of those are still kind of, still waiting, and some of them I might just delete because it seems like nothing's ever going to happen with the project. But there are going to be some that are going to be coming out that are clearly from the old studio. So just expect to see a couple of those for a little while. If at any point in time I don't have any more, I will probably make some kind of announcement that there won't be any more of those kinds of backlog videos. But this video, I'm really just going to be explaining kind of what's happened, what to expect, what's coming up. So as you can see, I don't know how well you can see because I can't see what that's seeing, but to my right, to y'all's left, is a big wall of all of my gear. Well, not all of my gear. That might be all of my gear. Well, I do have some that's like over in this corner. And then I have a whole bunch that's actually in the studio. But this is like a wall, relatively categorized. It still needs to be sorted. There's a whole bunch of stuff in those bins that I need to actually go through and actually put where they belong. But for the most part, it's relatively well situated. I still have like a big thing full of microphones that I need to actually put in their own location, put in their own spot. But as of right now, that's what I'm working with. So it's neat to actually be able to, because before most everything was just clumped in like one corner, and it was kind of like the most of it was kind of tossed on top of each other, or they were just in big buckets. And so it's nice to actually have it all splayed out and kind of not really displayed, but just kind of where I'm like, oh, I need a thing. Oh, there it is. It's neat to have that. Also, actually having a desk that I can actually sit down at. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to try to do most of my stuff in there, including editing, as soon as I can actually get like a standing platform for keyboard and mouse. I still have my standing chair. I also have like another tall chair or something like that. So I want to do, again, the majority of that in there just because it's like a quieter place to work. There's fewer distractions. It's just cozy. It's cozy like that. This is how I'm used to working. Also, to my left, y'all's right, is basically my actual closet. It's really just one of those standing units that has compartments for shelves, and you can customize it and organize it so you can put stuff in it. But that has like all of my clothes and some of my costume stuff is in there, so I can dedicate my entire actual closet, my actual physical closet, to doing voiceover. That was one thing that I knew I was going to need. And I still have this like little rack that I can like hang stuff on for maybe like jackets and stuff like that. It is neat and nice having a full space, a full more or less studio. I'm trying not to touch the desk too much because I know it shakes that thing. Having a full studio. I'm not done setting this up. I'm not done setting up the studio, but it is, it's coming along very nicely. So later on this week, I think it's Thursday and Friday, I'm actually going to be heading out to do sound engineering or sound recordist work for I think it's a full feature film It's not a high budget film. There's like a couple brothers that are who work well together and stuff like that. I don't have the details for the project. I don't have their names. A friend of mine, someone who I'd worked with many times, asked me if I was available because they weren't available for these 2 dates, and I said, yeah, I can come in. I think there's only going to be like 2 or 3 people that are being like recorded. So, I was like, I got the gear for that. If they were wanting like more than that, I was like, I don't have an interface that can work with that. So, yeah. So that's coming up. I think they were wondering if I was available on 2 other dates as well, but I haven't gotten back with them. So, but that's neat. The beginning of the first week of the month is always pretty slow for Fiverr. That's a guaranteed. So it's just something that I'm used to now. So, which is fortunate because I've had a chance to just kind of slowly do client work and slowly kind of piece that together. I think it took me 4 days. I think 4 days straight to put that together. And it's still not done. It's still not done. There are a couple more things that I still need to do with the studio. And I am currently editing. Well, not currently editing because I'm talking to you guys, but I am working on a video that is probably going to be like an hour long. I'm going to cut it down a bit, but it's probably going to be pretty lengthy on the entire putting together of that studio process, the entire from beginning to end, basically from nothing all the way to putting everything on the walls and gluing the foam panels and getting the carpet and stuff like that. The entire thing. It's still not done. There is kind of a tube sound to it, which means that it's probably because the ceiling is so high. There's no echo, there's no reflection, but there's this kind of low tube sound. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'm guessing it's because the ceiling is so far away and like the walls are closer in than the ceiling is high. So it's going to have this kind of tube sound. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm actually going to hang an actual bass trap kind of panel, an acoustic panel, probably like 4.5 feet by 2.5 feet off the ceiling. And my brother's going to help me make it. And using up some more of the moving blankets. We're going to use more of the because I have a whole bunch of the moving. I think I only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I only used 6 blankets. And I think it was a packet of 12. So I think I've only used half. Either way, I have a whole bunch left, which I am going to use those to make the panels for in there, as well as some kind of window cover, because I have 2 curtains over that window. I have a thinner curtain, which is on the outside. Well, not on the outside of the window, but just pressed up against the window between the blinds and the window. And then I have the large blanket, which is actually the one that I used to have for my door to my voiceover studio from before. So I have that over it, and it's pretty heavy. And it actually did drop the noise, the traffic noise, and the children screaming noise a good bit, and I can barely hear them in there. But if there's like a loud truck going by, or a plane or a helicopter, I can hear it through that window in there. So I do need to block it off. I'm sorry, I look and feel terrible. Well, I don't feel terrible. I actually feel better. I just I was sick for basically the entirety of the move, basically on the 1st, a little bit before the 1st of April, all the way to basically last night. And I just had coughs and drainage and all this kind of stuff. And I think it's because of the pollen, partly it's because of the dust, partly it's just because I was exerting myself for basically a whole week straight, trying to move in and trying to get that thing done. And so, yeah, since the entire studio was basically done, last night I just took every nighttime medicine that I could find, and I crashed for 12 hours. It is actually 7 p.m. right now. I got up probably about 4:30. So I was out for the majority of the day, and it felt amazing. Felt great. Also, it's really great to actually sleep on a bed. I had actually slept on a bed in forever. Oh my gosh, this thing's just going everywhere. I had actually just been crashing on it's the same thing, but I just had it like in futon couch mode the whole time, just because it consumed less space because of how small the efficiency was. So me and my brother both were just crashing on, those, but in couch mode. So it would use less space, so we'd have more room in the efficiency for both of us. And it was just not comfortable. It was just not working out. This is the first few nights I actually, it was difficult trying to actually sleep on an actual flat surface rather than kind of a, you hear that? That's what I got to get rid of. So I was actually, I was used to like sleeping at kind of like an angle and kind of like a little wedge. And so first night I was just like tossing and turning because my body couldn't figure it out. But the last few nights I was just like, oh, I get to stretch. This is amazing. So anyway, there are a few things that have changed and are going to come up. I have a lot of videos that I need to edit, get up before I start shooting more videos. I'm debating on whether or not I'm actually going to be mounting the screen in there on the wall. That's how I had it before. There's a stud that's like right there in the middle of the closet, which is pretty standard. So I think it's going to work out fine. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of want to limit the amount of like actually bolting stuff to the walls as I can, but I don't know. It may help. So anyway, that's where I'm at. One quick tip that I want to share with you guys, just because I want you guys to actually leave with some kind of tip or information, other than just me talking about myself and my day, is so before when I was talking using one of these boom arms, I was getting this kind of doon, doon, doon kind of sound that's really sharp, and that was because of these springs on the side. I don't know if you can see this in there, but these springs on the side. And because they're so tightly pulled and they're metallic, they're very resonant. So if I would speak really loudly, or I'd clap, or I'd touch the table, or adjust the microphone, you would hear them, that kind of ringing sound. So one thing that I figured out is just putting foam in here that actually presses against all the metal. So it kind of prevents everything from being suspended on its own and being hollow, because each one of these tubes are just hollow aluminum tubes. And so it really does get rid of that, that noise. Now, of course, there are other stands like this. There are probably ones from like Rode that don't have that problem because they're made more of like steel, and they have like internal suspension tension devices. But this is like one of the newer arms. I don't know if you can see that. This is one of the newer arms that came with the kit. And instead of just getting rid of it and replacing it, I decided to actually fix the problem. So if you have one of these, if you have one of these stands, if you have one of these boom arms or whatever, crane arms, and you're having that problem and you're actually using this for voiceover, for gaming or whatever, that would be my suggestion. Put something in between them that can actually like support the, that'll basically prevent them from just being isolated, standing, hollow metal tubes. Like little foam. This is like cheap, like, I don't know what it'd be. It'd be like bedding foam. I guess you can get from like Hobby Lobby. Same kind of foam that you'd put inside like pillows or something like that. So anyway, yeah, that's it for the video today. Probably Friday or Saturday, I'm going to have the long video for, that's the full putting together the studio video. And then next week should be back to normal as usual. Or not as usual, but just back to normal. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave it down in the comment section below if you'd like to see any questions answered or just have any comments. Just leave those down there. And until next time, peace.